5 centimeters per second is an interesting film, as it's not the traditional structure you see in the movies. Firstly, it's only an hour long, which is split into 3 separate acts or episodes that take place in a different year each act. Additionally, its first episode was shown on the Yahoo streaming service in February of 2007, then the whole film debuted in theaters a month later. So whether it truly counts for the rules of this month is up for debate, but I already covered the last unicorn in Pokemon, so I think we're beyond the bounds of limits anyway. This was Makoto Shinkai's second feature film, and you'd honestly think it's his 4th or 5th for how well polished and beautiful it is. It's quite a jump from the already good animation in The Place Promised in our early days to the breathtaking visuals of this film. But a movie isn't always about the looks. How does the narrative go? The story follows the growth of a boy, Tono, and his relationship with a girl he knew in his youth, Akari. It tells of how they continued to get closer to each other in their elementary school years, only for both of them to move apart years later, eventually cutting connection. In the meantime, another girl, Kanai, struggles to find the time and place to confess her love to a now listless, distant Tono in high school. What will become of these three as they explore their feelings all the way into adulthood? The possibilities are as vast as the exploration of space. In my opinion, the film is honestly the most beautiful movie this month in terms of cinematography. They honestly could have told these individual stories without dialogue, without any major problems because the imagery, lighting, and camera work are all just so gorgeous to look at. The best shots in the movie are of this rocket shooting into space on the brink of dusk, and the contrasting shine from the sun's side against the shadowed area caused by the rocket's trail is just utterly amazing. The whole film consists of shots like these, like the snowfall turning into cherry blossom petals in an instant, or Kanai riding her first wave in months. They're all imbued with this genuine serene look that just make the whole movie, literally and metaphorically. The music's also exhilarating to listen to, employing those fantastical elements of real life and the imagery it comes with. The softness of the piano against the bitter atmosphere of the movie and the impactful shots you get is a match made in anime heaven, alleviating or elevating the pain the film pushes you towards. And despite what I said about this movie being okay as a dialogue-less film, it's still really good with the dialogue. Many film critics and makers, including myself, will usually say that showing is better than telling your narrative, and while this is true for many films, it's not the case for this one. The inner monologues of Tono and Kanai are some of the most soothing bits of melancholy I've heard, outlining the unjust nature of fleeting feelings and the distance between people. It's almost like poetry, and you're listening in on these people who aren't poets but can equally express what it was like in these moments of harsh realization. If you hadn't guessed, none of the episodes end on a happy note. They're bittersweet, acknowledging the great loss of something special in the characters' lives while also calling attention to the fact that they had these great things to begin with. I absolutely love these endings, how they play into the fact that life doesn't work like we hope, and that people and places change. But Kanai is a sweet girl who deserves happiness, and I'm not just saying that because she's a tan-skinned, short-haired tomboy.
Right.
It's kind of weird that you can easily suggest which part of the movie is the best, because they all are different enough to warrant their praises and criticisms, but are still a part of this greater whole. But I suppose it does open up this idea that, yeah, the movie is varied in many ways, but united as this one all-encompassing message too. If I did have a problem with the film, it's that the character designs aren't that great. With the exception of one, they're just kind of meh for the most part. Nothing really sticks out about them, but again, to be fair, that's probably a good thing, as this story does show that this can happen to anyone, and it's just a part of life. For as short as 5 centimeters per second, it is damn worth the watch. It's not the happiest film out there, but it is a very real one, if not decorated by the sweet dramatic effects of the music and animation. If you have an hour or so to spare, I highly recommend this film, if not just for the imagery alone. Sure, there are other problems to it, like the ending song's kind of weird sounding, and the ending to the whole thing with Tono's smile is a bit odd. But those are peanuts compared to the gorgeous look and feeling this movie implores on you. Launch it yourself and see if it propels you to an out-of-this-world experience.